Did you know that right now, millions of American drivers are unknowingly breaking brand new traffic laws that just went into effect in 2026, and they have absolutely no idea? Picture this: you're driving home from the grocery store, same route you've taken 1,000 times, and suddenly you see flashing lights in your mirror. Not because you were speeding, not because you ran a red light, but because of a law that quietly changed while you were living your life. If that thought makes your heart skip a beat, you are in exactly the right place today. Welcome, friend, I'm so glad you're here, and what I'm about to share could save you from some very costly surprises on the road this year. Like this video, subscribe for more updates like this, and drop a comment below telling us which of these new laws surprises you the most. Now, before we dive in, I want you to know something. This video is made with you in mind, the experienced, thoughtful driver who has been behind the wheel for decades and takes road safety seriously. You've seen roads change over the years, from the days of no seatbelt laws to the gradual introduction of cell phone rules. Well, 2026 is another one of those turning point years, and the changes are significant. So let's walk through them together, one by one, in plain and simple language, because you deserve clear, honest information, not confusing legal jargon. Let's start with something that affects nearly every single driver in America today, no matter what state you live in. Hands-free driving enforcement has officially moved out of the warning phase and into serious penalty territory. For years, many states gave drivers a grace period, kind of a gentle nudge, a reminder that the rules were changing. But that grace period is over. In states like Louisiana, the law now says you cannot even touch your mobile phone while you are behind the wheel. Not to check a text. Not to glance at a map. Not even for a split second. And if you do? First-time offenders are looking at a $100 fine, and if it happens again, that number jumps to $300. What makes this especially important is that police can now pull you over for this alone. It's what's called primary enforcement, meaning they don't need another reason to stop you. So if you've been in the habit of quickly peeking at your phone at a red light, now is the time to break that habit for good. A simple phone mount and a voice-activated GPS app can make all the difference. Now here's one that I think will genuinely surprise you, and honestly, it's a change I think most of us can agree is long overdue. You've probably heard of move over laws before, the rules that say when you see an emergency vehicle pulled over on the side of the road with lights flashing, you should slow down and, if possible, move to another lane. That law has been around for a while. But in 2026, states like Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Minnesota have expanded it significantly. Now, it's not just for police cars and ambulances. It applies to any vehicle that is stopped on the side of the road with its hazard lights blinking. That means a neighbor who got a flat tire, a delivery driver pulled over to check an address, or a road worker directing traffic, you are now legally required to slow down and move over for all of them. And in California, if you fail to move over for highway maintenance vehicles specifically, you could be facing a fine of up to $1,000. This law exists because roadside accidents are tragically common, and something as simple as changing lanes can save a life. Speaking of saving lives, let's talk about automated cameras, because they are absolutely everywhere in 2026, and they are not going away. School zones and work zones have always been places where you needed to be extra careful, but now the technology to catch you if you're not has become incredibly sophisticated. In Lakeland, Florida, if you drive more than 10 miles per hour over the school zone speed limit, a camera automatically captures your plate and mails you a $100 fine, no officer needed, no traffic stop, just a ticket in your mailbox. Maryland has taken things a step further with 24-hour, 7-days-week red light cameras at key intersections, issuing automatic $75 fines. And here's the part that catches a lot of people off guard: these tickets are mailed to the registered owner of the vehicle. So even if your son or daughter was borrowing your car that day, the ticket comes to you. It's worth having a conversation with anyone who drives your vehicle about these new automated systems, because ignorance of the law, unfortunately, is not a defense. While we're on the subject of things being monitored automatically, let's talk about license plates. This one might seem minor, but it has real consequences. States including Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware have introduced new visibility standards for license plates, meaning your plate must be clearly readable at all times, by both humans and automated systems. No coverings, no frames that obscure the letters or numbers, nothing that makes it harder to read. And in California, if you are caught manufacturing or using any kind of device to obscure your license plate, that is now classified as an infraction carrying a $1,000 fine. This change is directly tied to the expansion of automated cameras and law enforcement technology. Think of it this way, the cleaner and more visible your plate, the less likely you'll ever have an issue. Now I'd like to talk about something that's a bit more serious in nature, and that's the crackdown on drunk driving, specifically in Utah. Utah has long had some of the strictest DUI laws in the country, and 2026 has brought even more enforcement tools. Restaurants and bars in Utah are now required to check the identification of every single customer, regardless of how old they appear, specifically to identify drivers who have what's being called a red stripe license. These are licenses issued to repeat DUI offenders that clearly indicate alcohol should not be sold to that person. It's an extraordinary step, and while it may feel unusual, it reflects just how seriously Utah, and increasingly other states, are taking impaired driving. For those of us who enjoy an occasional glass of wine at dinner, this isn't something to worry about. But it's a fascinating window into where road safety enforcement is heading. Here's something that might feel like it came right out of a movie. In Colorado, street racing crackdowns now include the use of social media posts and live streams as legal evidence. If someone films themselves participating in an illegal street race and posts it online, authorities can and will use that footage in court. Vehicles involved in organized street racing can be immobilized for up to 30 days, with significant daily fees attached. Now, you and I are probably not drag racing down a city street, but this law reflects a broader shift. In the digital age, what you do on the road can follow you online, and law enforcement is watching. For those of you in California who have been in the used car market recently, here's a wonderful piece of news. The CARS Act, which took effect in 2026, gives you a 3-day window to change your mind after purchasing or leasing a used vehicle valued under $50,000, as long as you haven't driven it more than 400 miles. This is a significant consumer protection, especially for seniors who may feel pressured by dealership tactics. You now have the legal right to walk away within 3 days, no questions asked. And now, a topic that I know is deeply personal for many of you watching, senior driver assessments. Several states have begun implementing clearer guidelines for drivers over the age of 60 or 70. These may include mandatory vision checks or medical evaluations during license renewal. I want to speak about this with care, because I know this is a sensitive subject. Driving represents independence. It means getting to the doctor, visiting grandchildren, picking up groceries on your own terms. The intent of these assessments is not to take that away, it's to make sure every driver on the road, at every age, is safe. Many seniors pass these evaluations with flying colors. The important thing is to know they may be coming, prepare for them calmly, and speak with your doctor if you have any concerns about your vision or overall health. Before we wrap up the body of today's discussion, there are 2 more updates worth knowing. First, for anyone who has seen those quiet, driverless vehicles gliding down the road, especially in California, new regulations now allow autonomous vehicles to display what are called ADS marker lamps. These special lights tell you, as a pedestrian or nearby driver, that the vehicle's automated system is currently in control, not a human driver. It's a small but meaningful step in helping everyone on the road understand what's happening around them. And finally, for anyone with family members who drive commercially or operate under DOT regulations, fentanyl is expected to be added to the standard federal drug testing panel in early 2026. This is being called the most significant expansion of federal drug testing requirements in years, and it speaks to the ongoing national effort to keep impaired drivers off commercial roads. What a remarkable amount of change, and all of it within a single year. As we head into the conclusion of today's video, I hope you're feeling informed, prepared, and perhaps even a little relieved that you took the time to watch this. Because knowledge truly is your best protection on the road. Let's bring it all together in our closing thoughts and leave you with the clearest, most practical takeaways you can use starting today.